All spring, we have been following the story of Catherine Ferguson Academy, a public school in Detroit for girls who get pregnant while they are in school or who have kids of their own while they themselves are still school-aged. Catherine Ferguson Academy is a school specifically for girls in that circumstance, for a group that is generally almost expected to drop out of school. This particular school expects that they will not drop out, that they will graduate, that they will go to college. Detroit Public Schools says 90% of Catherine Ferguson students graduate. And for the past 9 years, every single graduate of Catherine Ferguson Academy has been accepted to college, every single one. Despite its successes, Catherine Ferguson Academy has been on the verge of being shut down on the orders of a state-appointed emergency manager in Michigan. We have been covering the story for a few months now, even at times when local media was not covering it. No blame on them for that. Detroit obviously has a lot on its plate. But when the Detroit media has covered this story, it should be noted, this story about Catherine Ferguson Academy, the work of local Detroit media has often been just extraordinary.
When I first found out I was pregnant, I was 14.
I did not believe it. I was in so much denial. My family didn't even find out until I was like 6, 7 months. I was just scared. I was so scared.
I was really thinking, what I'm gonna do? Like, what should I do?
We were initially just a short-term program. You needed to go back to your regular school after 6 weeks after you had your baby. And girls were coming back saying, I can't find childcare and I don't know what I'm doing, and my mother's at work and nobody to take care of the baby. So we started letting those kids stay a little longer.
So like, I'm truly grateful for the support that I have at this school to help me, try to better myself for me and my son, because I don't feel like I'm getting that nowhere else.
Now I'm like, I'm go outside and milk the goats. It's natural. It was nice to have that exposure, and in turn I exposed my child to it.
We have beaten the odds. Every kid who walks across the stage beats the odds. 90% of girls who drop out of school do so as a result of pregnancy or parenting. So if you walk across the stage, you've beaten the odds tremendously.
That video, I think, was excellent. It was produced by the Detroit Free Press. All week, we have expecting today to be the Catherine Ferguson Academy's last day ever. That was what the emergency manager had ordered. The principal, Aseneth Andrews, had been told to say goodbye to the students today, to hand in her keys to the school tomorrow on Friday. There was to be a protest at noon today at the school. The actor Danny Glover was expected to be there, as well as lots of other people. Principal Andrews went to bed last night thinking this was it. Her school was done. But early this morning, her phone rang. The emergency manager wanted to see her for a meeting at 10:45 a.m. Then another call, meeting changed to 10 o'clock. No, another call, please get down to the emergency manager's office right away. Ms. Andrews says she walked in to find them finishing up a deal to keep the Catherine Ferguson Academy open. They asked her if she minded, and she said no. Just under an hour before the protest was about to begin, Detroit Public Schools made the announcement. DPS announces new operator for Catherine Ferguson Academy. The emergency manager telling the world, quote, "We are pleased to announce that we have found a solution. Principal Andrews gets to stay. Teachers get to stay if they want to. The students get to stay. The farm and its animals that are at the school all staying. Catherine Ferguson Academy is still a school for girls who have kids." And yes, they celebrated today at Catherine Ferguson the planned noon protest turning into kind of a party. Catherine Ferguson will still exist, at least for now. It will be run as a charter school, and that's the important fine print here. Charter schools sometimes work, they sometimes don't. Sometimes they give teachers more freedom and better pay. Sometimes they pay less and do less. Teachers with Detroit Public Schools are union. Teachers with the new company that will be running Catherine Ferguson Academy will not be union. The fate of the Catherine Ferguson Academy is in this private company's hands now. But this time yesterday, this school was due not to exist. As of today, Catherine Ferguson Academy has a tomorrow. Joining us now is Aseneth Andrews, the only principal that Catherine Ferguson Academy has ever known. Ms. Andrews, thank you for interrupting what I imagine is your celebration here to be with us tonight.
I just can breathe. Thank you for having us.
Let me just personally say, congratulations. I feel like I am very invested in you as a principal because of all I have learned about this school. Am I right that you had no idea this was coming at all?
Not at all. You know, everybody has had some scheme or some way they said they were going to save us, and I've gotten really excited, and then I've gotten deflated, and so I couldn't imagine that they would wait so long. So my office is packed. Well, sort of packed, and I just thought I'd be gone, and my girls would be just thrown to the wind. So. We're excited. We're excited.
When you were heading to the protest about the school closing, I understand this decision was really made within something like an hour of when that protest was due to start. Instead, when you're heading to that protest, you know that the school is going to be kept open. Did you, in fact, have to break the news to people in part when you got there?
Yes, I was so surprised. The media beat me there, but everybody thought the media was there for the rally, and so I asked the assistant principal to pull all of the staff into the library, as well as Aretha Marshall, who was the person who asked me to start Katherine Ferguson Academy. And when I told them, they just jumped up and applauded, and everybody was just so relieved. You know, it went from just absolute desolation, depression, anxiety, crazy, to celebration. It was incredible. It was incredidible.
Ma'am, how do you think the new, I guess it's really ownership is the right term, is going to affect what happens at Katherine Ferguson? This won't be a Detroit public school anymore in the way that it was before. It'll be run by a charter school.
You know, I've done a personal crash course in charters in the last 40 days. I think that we'll do better. We'll have more resources. We've had a lot of people who've wanted to be a part of what we're doing and who have said that they want to contribute to the school, contribute to our early education program, provide some other kinds of programming for our infants and toddlers, our pre-K. So, and the group that we are being chartered by is the same. They're the same people that we went to South Africa with last year. So they get it. They don't think in small little boxes. They really want kids to experiment and discover and do a lot of things. So I think we'll be better off. I'd be really surprised if I'm calling you in a week saying, or in a year going, help me. But I don't think so. I think I think this is a step up for my girls in the school.
The staff that you have now is union staff. They're in the teachers union. Under the new owners, they will not be union anymore. Do you think that's going to affect your ability to hold on to your staff?
I think there will be some people that this is just not a good time to resign or to pull their membership from Detroit Public Schools. And so those people we will lose. But I think that this mission is so important that we'll get people who want to be there, who recognize that it takes more than just teaching content. You must be responsible for a relationship with your girls. And I'll miss some of the people that we may lose. I'm praying that some of the people that are just so very effective will be able to stay with us. But right now, I just need a day to kind of be happy and and hope that things go well. I cannot tell you how many people there are to thank. First of all, there are just hundreds and hundreds of people to thank. But it is the idea of not saying goodbye to all my girls and not closing down and not trying to barbecue those goats. It just is happy thought.
Zenith Andrews, principal of Katherine Ferguson Academy in Detroit, and its 249 students. Thank you again for making time for us on this night when I bet you just want to be basking in it. I do hope that we can stay in touch, ma'am.
I hope so.
I really
come
appreciate
visit
it.
us.
I will. I absolutely will. That's a promise.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
We have honey, we have apples, we have all kinds of stuff. You get a gift basket.
Okay, do not barbecue the goats until I get there.
There you go.
All right, it's a deal.